watching the Sports and Political channel LB. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share these videos on your social media platforms. Let's get down to business. So, in subsequent videos I've done involving Brett Favre, and there are a lot of players in this scheme to pilfer money from the government. What's up, Kevin Wedderburn? Salute to you, brother. Long time no see. Good to see you, bro. So, in case you don't know who this person is, this person here is Ted DiBiASE Jr. Now, he was one of the wrestlers that was implicated in this scheme, along with Brett Favre and then Governor Phil Bryant. Now, when I first talked about this, I didn't know exactly who the individual was. I was going down the line of legendary wrestlers like Ric Flair and Magnum TA, whoever. I didn't know exactly who it was that was helping Brett Favre out or assisting him in pilfering money from the welfare pot. And I was watching Professor Black Truth video about this, and shout out to Professor Black Truth, always does a masterful job whenever he puts out his content. I would highly recommend you subscribe to Professor Black Truth. And in that video, he talked about Ted DiBiASE Jr. Now, obviously, he's the son of the $1 Million Man. He's wrestled in WWE for a few years, going back to the late, I say about 2007, 2008-ish, to about 2011, 2012-ish. He's been wrestling ever since. And there was a little rumor at one point about him getting back in the wrestling ring. But I'm not here to talk about him being in the wrestling ring. I'm talking about him being part of this fraud scheme along with Brett Favre. Now, he's 39 years old. He turned 40 on November 8th. Right? So, now you wondering, how did Ted DiBiASE get his button to crack in this stuff also? Right? I'm about to tell you in a second. So the Mississippi Today has been doing a masterful job in uncovering a lot of the stuff that's what's going on that you won't hear in the mainstream media. A former professional wrestler and a defendant in the Mississippi welfare scandal is alleging that he personally witnessed Republican Governor Phil Bryant instruct an appointee to cut welfare funding to a nonprofit because its director supported Democrat Jim Hood in 2019 for the governor's race. The allegation that Bryant leveraged his control of welfare to spending to punish a political opponent comes in a 2-year-old federal court filing released Friday after the Mississippi Today successfully motioned to unseal the case. What's up, Unique Don? Salute to you. Good to see you, my sister. The account echoes a similar allegation Mississippi Today published just over a week ago that the same nonprofit was forced to fire Hood's wife in order to keep receiving welfare grant funding. Former WWE wrestler Teddy DiBiASE Jr. had received millions of federal welfare dollars to conduct various anti-poverty services for 2 private nonprofits when suddenly the state allegedly pulled the program. Federal authorities, who are attempting to seize DiBiASE's house because of his alleged role in the welfare scheme, say that the Mississippi Department of Human Services abandoned the program, quote unquote, and the wrestler failed to perform the work under his contracts. The federal complaint DiBiASE mirrors new federal charges that former welfare director John Davis pleaded guilty to last week. And I talked about that dude last week, and in the original video I did discussing his role in him getting a Ford Raptor. Now, Ford F-150 Raptor is one of those vehicles that they hardly even make. It's rare. So if you get your hands on one of those, you're doing something. But what actually happened, DiBiASE says, or he claims, that in 2019, Governor Bryant directed Davis to discontinue the agency's partnership with nonprofit Family Resource Center of North Mississippi because of its connection to Democrats in the state. Family Resource Center Director Christy Webb was an outspoken supporter of her friend and then Attorney General Jim Hood, a Democrat who was running against Republican then Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves for governor in 2019. That year, the term-limited Bryant, who still oversaw the welfare agency, also worked hard on the campaign trail to get Reeves elected to the governor's mansion. So basically, what was going on, Phil Bryant couldn't run again because he was already at his term limit. So the current governor, Tate Reeves, Phil Bryant was working on the campaign trail to get him elected and not the Democratic opponent, which Phil Bryant cut funding for. Now, DiBiASE was running a program called RISE. Okay, it was then moved out from under the private nonprofits to the state agency. Shortly before John Davis retired in mid-2019, he indicated that the RISE program would be taken in-house and overseen at MDHS, that's the Mississippi Department of Homeland Security, or not Homeland Security, the Housing Services, I'm sorry, as opposed to being overseen by FRC or MCEC, reached DiBiASE on August 10, 2020, answer to the federal complaint for forfeiture against him. Upon information and belief, this occurred as a result of the governor directing John Davis to cease funding and working with FRC because FRC's executive director, Christy Webb, was openly supporting Jim Hood in the race for the Mississippi governor. The claimant, who witnessed Bryant give that direction to Davis, was subsequently informed by Davis that his contract with FRC would be moved to MCEC. The filing continued. It did not affect the claimant's performance under the contract. Teddy DiBiASE made his claim in his response to the federal forfeiture complaint the U.S. Department of Justice filed against him. This was Trump's DOJ, not Biden's. All right, this was Trump DOJ going after him. In 2020, alleging he entered fraudulent contracts in order to obtain welfare funds. U.S. Magistrate Judge Keith Ball dismissed the DOJ's initial complaint against Ted DiBiASE in 2021 after his lawyers successfully argued that the complaint failed to allege a crime and allowed the government to enter an amended complaint in August. Now, DiBiASE argued that he completed the work the nonprofits paid him to conduct, therefore earning the money legally. What's up, CB Sports TV? Salute to you, bro. My man Eric Johnson in the building. Everybody got a price for the $1 million man. Ted DiBiASE's allegation against Bryant adds the claim that the former governor used his power to influence welfare spending, not just to benefit political allies, but to punish a Democratic opponent. Now, you see a situation here where the rats are chewing each other up. They're throwing each other under the bus. That's right. You got Ted DiBiASE, right? Because everybody's got a price for the $1 million man, right? Throwing the governor under the bus to save his own ass. Let the rats chew each other up. Now, officials have not charged the former governor civilly or criminally. Brett Favre is not charged in this scheme either. Now, the state prosecutor who secured a guilty plea from Davis last week said investigators have set their sights on higher level officials as well as the welfare probe continues. Mississippi Today first reported a similar allegation from Webb from a local lawmaker had threatened her on Bryant's behalf to fire Hood's wife, Debbie Hood, in order to keep receiving funding from the state. Webb says she relayed the news to Debbie Hood, who agreed to resign. Hood's campaign manager, Raiko Rajabian, said that Debbie Hood confirmed the account. Webb also alleged that she eventually refused to continue paying the DiBiases, which angered Davis. Now, Ted DiBiase is the son of WWE legend Ted DiBiase Sr., the $1 Million Man. His youngest brother, Brett DiBiase, also received welfare funds and pleaded guilty to his role in a fraud scheme in 2020. Through various contracts with the men, as well as Ted DiBiase Sr.'s Christian ministry, the DiBiase family received over $5 million in campaign funds. No, welfare funds, not campaign funds, welfare funds. $5 million. I guess everybody got a price for the $1 Million Man. Let's roll the footage. In the 2020 ongoing forfeiture complaint against Teddy DiBiase, federal authorities are attempting to seize his $1.5 million French colonial lakeside home in the Madison County of Reunion, the Clarion Ledger first reported. What's up, underrated darkness? Salute to you, bro. Prosecutors say he purchased the property with money obtained from the state's welfare program, a total of $3 million, according to the state's auditor. At the time in 2020, the complaint contained details of an ongoing investigation. And by the way, that song that was being played is owned by rights to WWE. I own absolutely zero rights to the song. All rights goes to World Wrestling Entertainment and its owners and creators. It's for entertainment purposes only and educational purposes only. Had to throw that disclaimer out there. All right. Now, Davis pleaded guilty on September 22nd to 2 federal charges, 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and 1 count of theft related to the payments to Ted DiBiase. Mississippi Today identified 1 of the 4 unnamed alleged co-conspirators in the charges against Davis as Ted DiBiase. Now, Junior, Senior have not publicly faced criminal charges, though they are the targets of an ongoing state civil investigation that attempts to recoup misspent welfare funds. All the charges are part of a wider scandal that resulted in the misspending of $77 million in federal welfare funds. The money flowed through the Family Resource Center of North Mississippi and other nonprofit Mississippi community education centers founded by defendant Nancy New. New, who has pleaded guilty to bribery and fraud, was also a friend of Brian's wife, the governor's wife, the former governor. 2 nonprofits were running a statewide program called Families First for Mississippi. Filings in the federal forfeiture against Ted DiBiase Jr. outline several alleged events. June 2017, Ted DiBiase's company Prices Ventures signed a contract with FRC and MCEC $250,000 to act as a leadership training coordinator for Families First for Mississippi. FRC paid the retired wrestler full on June 1st, 2017, the first day of the contract period. August 2017, FRC paid Ted DiBiase Sr. $250,000 near the beginning of a year-long contract to be a motivational speaker for Families First. May 2018, Teddy DiBiase's company, Priceless Ventures, signed a contract with FRC for $500,000. MCEC paid $500,000 on May 17, 2018. He performed no significant work under his leadership outreach contract, the complaint alleges, but instead merely provided 1 or 2 training sessions, an immaterial amount for work that fell far short of what the contract required. What's up, T Price? Salute to my man T Price. Go subscribe to the Old Head Podcast. Go subscribe to my man Eric Johnson 1994. And last but definitely not least, my brother, the underrated Darkness. July 13, 2018, FRC paid Priceless Ventures nearly $500,000 for emergency food assistance funds for a contract that was supposed to run from May 2018 to September 2018. The only work DiBiase Jr. completed on that contract was to send a list of food pantry locations to FRC, the following alleged. October 2018, Priceless Ventures signed a $130,000 contract with MCEC to create a personal development training program. MCEC eventually paid the company $199,500 under the contract. December 2018, MDHS signed a $48,000 contract with Brett DiBiase to conduct training sessions on opioid addictions from December 2018 to June 2019. Welfare funds for opioids? Really, yo? $48,000 to talk about opioids. All right. February 2019, Brett DiBiase began treatment at a luxury drug rehab facility in Malibu called Rise. That's where Ted DiBiase Jr. comes in there. When he received therapy for 4 months, Davis directed the MCEC to make 4 $40,000 payments to the facility. Federal complaint alleges that Ted DiBiase used the money from the Family Resource Center contracts to make a more than $400,000 payment on his Madison home. Ted DiBiase denies the assertion that he failed to complete the work for which he was hired. The federal complaint also uses Davis's text messages to establish the close relationship that the government bureaucrat developed with the DiBiase family, such as Davis, telling his administration assistant that he, quote, loves the DiBiase like his own child. The amended complaint reads, Davis also pleaded guilty last week to charges related to welfare payments to Brett DiBiase and to pay for his drug rehab stint. The Mississippi Today previously reported that Davis and Ted DiBiase swapped Christian devotionals, traveled out of state, and exercised at the gym together. Davis frequently texted the older brother, I loved you. The welfare director flew across the country to visit Brett DiBiase while he was in drug rehab, discussed his treatment options with a specialist, and called him the son he never had. When not together, they shared long late-night phone calls. Long late-night phone calls? What the hell's going on late-night phone calls? Hey, where's the 3-hour jack-off session? What the fuck is going on with that? There's something deeper than rap there. Look, I'm not talking no dude for hours on end on the late night. Something's deeper than rap is going on. Now, I'm not one to sit up here and speculate. I'm not one to sit up here and assume nothing. But something is definitely not right about that. You talking to another dude on the late night for hours on end. Either 1 or 2 things going on. Y'all plotting your next move or y'all plotting your next sexual undressing session. Okay? But hey, I'm not one to judge. Okay? I'm not one to judge. Look, if you want to get involved in growing up naked, booty, phone sexual sessions, hey, do you, boo-boo? Do you? All right? I bet everybody got a press for that one too, right? Long late night phone calls? Really? Oh, what's up, Carl A, Tampa Supreme, Divine Unity. Oh, what you missed? Oh, you missed that Ted DiBiASE Jr. here is involved in this scheme with Brett Favre. Under one of the contracts, Ted DiBiASE was supposed to accomplish several things, including meeting the multiple needs of inner city youth, identifying services for successfully linking the youth served with opportunities for self-sufficiency and independence, providing feedback about the parents as they pursue skill building and education that lead to better jobs, and helping employers on improving opportunity and outcomes in the workforce. Just crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. In Mississippi, nearly 1 in 5 people live in poverty. Average wages in the state, as well as the state's workforce participation rate, are among the lowest in the nation. Oh, did I mention that Mississippi is like the poorest state in all the United States, right? Poorest state in all the United States, but there's part of the reason why they're the poorest state in the United States, because you got these white supremacists out here pilfering the money. They're stealing money. Ted DiBiase's contract illustrates both the state's frenetic emphasis on workforce development and the disregard for whether the program it supports actually produce the desired outcomes. No, it does not. But what it does provide, though, and what it does produce, though, is a lot of money for these white supremacists to steal, pocket, buy homes, travel out of state, travel out of the country, go on hunting expedition where they can kill 8, 9-point deers and shit, and then they have it up on their wall in their mansion, right? Hey, but it's all the American way. Can we make a change? I know it's not overnight. Let's start the fight. Can we make a change? I know it's not overnight. Let's start the fight. LP is a rebel to America. All right. Now, in this case, the DOJ contends the actions were illegal. Davis and DiBiASE Jr. entered into the workforce-related contracts according to the federal complaint, even though Davis and DiBiASE Jr. knew at the inception of the contract that, in fact, no significant services will be performed under the contract, and that the actual purpose of entering into the contract and dispersing funds under it was to enrich DiBiASE Jr. by stealing and misapplying funds under the federally funded contract. So we got 3 charges in play here. We got embezzlement, we got money laundering, and we got fraud. That's 3 charges right off the rip. Okay? So the person that did this expose goes by the name of Anna Wolf. Now, one thing I understand about white supremacy, right? The one thing it cannot afford to have is white people attacking white supremacy, right? So when you have white women out here attacking white supremacy and exposing white supremacists backdoor deals and oil fields type of activity, not 9 times out of 10 you see these white supremacists out there attacking the woman who's putting out these articles, or working to bring down or shake the tree of the operation that's going down. So as more details come out, and more details will come out, because I told y'all before, there's more people, more players, more scheming that's going on here. This is not over by a long shot. Now, I hope everyone understands what the devil's going on, right? But Brett Favre definitely should be in jail. Phil Bryant should be in jail. Ted DiBiASE, his son, Brett DiBiASE also, they should be in jail, right? Because everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're taking welfare funds and kicking off the Mississippi Attorney General. And that's just pure speculation on my part. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I wouldn't be surprised if the current governor's been kicked off too. So we just got to stay tuned. Oh, they built a, hey, Kevin Wedderburn, hey, they built a, hey, he built a legacy, all right. He built a legacy, all right, a legacy full of corruption, embezzlement, and crime. I should have titled the video "The DiBiASE Crime Family." Shit. That's what I really should have did. I should have called the title of this video "The DiBiASE Crime Family." I'm pretty sure somebody else will listen to this video and then they will take what I say and implement it in their own video for YouTube. That's right. We got the DiBiASE Crime Family right here on display. So why are they giving coverage? Why aren't people talking about them? I know we focused on Brett Favre, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to take my eyes off Brett Favre. Brett Favre is in my motherfucking crosshairs. Don't get me wrong, right? But are these guys famous people? I mean, this guy wrestled in the WWE. This guy was putting people in the Dream Street. His dad was putting people in the $1 Million Dream back in the 80s and 90s when he was wrestling Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man Randy Savage for the WWE Championship, right? Paying off Andre the Giant to get Hulk Hogan disqualified in WrestleMania 4, right? He was doing all that shit. I'm talking about his daddy, not DiBiASE Jr. DiBiASE Jr., you know, hey, look, when he was running around here trying to find a tag team partner to become a WWE Tag Team Champion, Cody Rhodes and motherfucking Hardcore Holly were tag team partners. They were the champions at one time. DiBiASE paid off Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes turned on Hardcore Holly, and then they become tag team champions. They in line with Randy Orton. They become Legacy. So, this is where we at. Everybody got a price for the $1 Million Man. Now DiBiASE Senior is supposed to be a Christian man. He's supposed to be spreading the gospel around the world. That's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be this ordained minister now. I talk about the daddy DiBiASE, right? So we out here stealing money, taking money from where that's supposed to be for temporary assistance for needy families, right? And we're gonna take that money and build a church and do all this other stuff with it, right? Go around the world, preach the gospel, shoot some 8-point deer, and have some deer jerky on Thanksgiving. Now let's go hunt turkeys with Brett Favre also, right? Okay. That's just pure speculation. That's not actual fact. I don't have any evidence to freaking to support that. I'm just purely speculating. But yeah, man, the truth of the matter is these guys should be in jail. Okay? They should be in jail, but they're not. Not only they ain't going to jail, they haven't gotten charged with the shit. They ain't got charged with nothing. Nobody's house got raided. Nobody's house got taken, right? And even if he did, I'm pretty sure he got another house somewhere he can go to. You think that's his only house? I'm just saying. So, as I close this video, I think I would be remiss if I didn't do this. Now, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. All rights of the music that was played go to WWE and its creators. I owe nothing. And last but not least, shouts out to the mighty LDBC Lions Den basketball community. This your man. Scream at me. All right.